Hello everyone, I am Dr.D.Sarala, retired Head Department of Physics and Electronics from St.Ann College. I am making a few videos for the intermediate students who are passionate about learning something which is interesting in physics. So let me just explain certain things here. In the last video you have seen the sound, the physics of sound, the overtones, the standing wave patterns, nodes, antinodes and so on. So now let us see a few applications of the sound, the nodes and antinodes and open pipes and closed pipes, how a sound is emanated from each of these. So let us try to understand the physics of these musical instruments. The physics of these instruments is based on the principles of vibration, waves and resonance. They create a sound and there are different types of instruments known as stringed instruments, plucked instruments and then many other things are there. So let us see, when you strike a chord on these, they will resonate with an air column, results in the vibrations. And these are characteristics of the waves which we discussed in my earlier videos. So we have here instruments which are classified into string instruments, wind instruments, okay, and percussion instruments. String instruments, sound is produced when the strings are plucked, like Veena and guitar, sitar and so on. So as you pluck, depending on where you have the gradation, there will be some slits. Depending on which slit you are using, the sound of a particular harmonic is heard. In the case of wind instrument, sound is produced by air columns, like flute, trumpet, saxophone and so on. You will be blowing the air into it. Depending on, there are different holes for, they are all pierced into it. Depending on where it is, the amount of, the volume of the air that you flow, the distance of these holes, depending on that, the different notes of the octaves are played. Then you have percussion instruments. There are vibrating membranes or some particular bars made of some skin. For example, drums, tabla and so on. There, by beating the drum on the top of the surface, you will hear the different sounds. Next you have, basically all these are dependent on the vibrations what we've studied. Okay, each musical instrument produces a particular sound. Okay, by striking it with your fingers, or in case of guitar and all, they use some nose plier like thing, some nose so that it won't harm their nails. They wear some rings. By tapping the strings on this, that also will give you the sound pattern. The standing wave pattern that we studied in the last video is the information of the standing waves on the vibrating object gives you different types of pitches and different harmonics what we studied. They are nothing but the different octaves what you hear. The design of the instrument is such a way that different instruments have different shapes and there is a hollow box inside, and most of the instruments you will see some particular hole through which air columns are resonating. By tapping on the instrument, depending on the size and shape and the material with which it is made, different sounds are produced. So these video is particularly made for you to show how these musical instruments are played and what is the physics behind this. So let us talk about a few of these instruments, the Indian instruments. This is Veena. These are all the different parts of the Veena. Those who are interested in the music will understand. So this is the main string. These are called metal frets. Okay, and this is the neck of this. These are tightening pegs. This is resonating body. This is the hollow body. So as you pluck these wires, you have different, you can see the different gaps here, this rectangular ones. So that is the air column. By pressing this, by pulling these strings, you are able to create a sound in this hollow box here. So when they are plucked, they actually these strings are vibrating. It is like your sonometer experiment. In the sonometer also, what you do is you keep a bridge and then you strike a tuning fork and keep it on the wooden box, and the box will vibrate along with the air column in it, and it resonates with the tuning fork's frequency. When they match, you hear a loud sound. That means the amplitude is maximum at such points. The instrument body also resonates, therefore you have this characteristic sound that is coming. Flute. Here you see there are some holes in it, and when you blow air into it, the player's breath creates an oscillating jet. So people will tap these holes with the hands. As they tap, you are closing and opening some of these air columns, and hence you are able to produce the sound. So this is where they keep it inside the mouth, and these are all the holes, and those who are playing, they will be tapping the hand, well, some of them closing, depending on what raga they are playing, what songs they are playing, what swaras are being played. Accordingly, there is a rhythm and they follow that rhythm. Then those two are, Veena is a string instrument, okay, and this is a vibrating column instrument, that is blowing instrument, that is flute. Drums are percussion. So there is a membrane, the vibration compresses and decompresses the air inside it. So the drum shell, this hollow, that acts as a resonator. So they affect the tone, volume and so on. They strike it with two tongs. This is the drum. This is how you can see the different type of instruments, and basically what physics lies behind this also.